And another player that's kind of in the same scenario that's in the mid-season trade rumors is Damian Lillard. A lot of people are trying to understand, why does Damian want to stay in Portland? Especially with these new rules that they implemented in the league as far as calling these fouls. It's affecting Dame's game. He's not as efficient as he was last season. Now the Blazers got a new coach in Chauncey Billups, and maybe some people are thinking, all right, maybe Dame is buying into the Billups experience. And in this past offseason, we got to look at the fact that the Blazers barely made any moves to improve that roster. And there's a reason behind that. So we got to look past the whole Chauncey Billups hire and thinking maybe Dame bought in. The way the Blazers roster is tied up with the salary cap, it's set up for the Blazers going forward for the next couple of seasons to be in the repeater luxury tax. So on top of paying a luxury tax, the fact that they went over the cap more than 2 out of the 3 past seasons, they're going to pay another tax on top of that. So right now they're pretty much salary dumping. And even with all that salary dumping, they're still set up to be in that repeater tax going forward. I mean, they got the 10th most expensive roster in the NBA right now. And if you look at next year, they're going to have $107 million tied up with just 6 players only. And then for the 2023 through 2024 season, they have $108 million tied up with 4 players only. And keep in mind, they still got to fill up this 15-man roster with other players while trying to stay under the $136 million cap hold. So once again, next year they have 6 players tied up with $107 million. And then in 2023 through the 2024 season, they have 4 players tied up with $108 million. So how much better can your team get when in one season you have about $40 million to spend, but you got to get 9 players, and then another season you got to get 11 players, but you already have 4 players eating up $108 million of the cap. So Dame already knows this. There's little room for improvement. And does the Blazers organization even want to keep paying luxury tax? And then on top of that, a repeater tax for multiple seasons going forward with a team that could barely get out of the first round. It doesn't add up. So just like Bradley Beal, Dame is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And it looks like, he's built this brand over the last few years of saying that I'm loyal, I'm a grinder, I'm a, work it out with my current team. I'm not going to take the easy way out. So he's kind of built this brand around this, but it seems like at the same time it's going to stifle him from reaching to the highest levels within the league. So just looking at the roster limitations, you got to ask yourself, why is Dame still in Portland? Well, he did sign that Supermax, and by the time he's 34, he could be up for another deal. And just like Bradley Beal, be the man of the team and get your money at the same time. And once again, not all these players are about championships. You got to go by their actions. And then you look at Dame. His franchise is in the reboot chapter in his tenure in Portland, especially with him being a duo with CJ McCollum. Their end is pretty much near, and as you can see from Portland's moves, they're really limited on how they can improve this roster. And ownership got to ask themselves, do they want to pay so much money on top of the salaries that they're paying in order to keep this together? So Bradley Beal and CJ McCollum, they're on the top of the trade rumors, but just judging by their actions, I don't think either guy wants to make a move out.